All right, guys, the topic of today's video is one that is not talked about nowhere near enough, and that is how to actually progress a relationship with a woman. Because what do the women in your lives tell you at the moment? Oh, you need to communicate with them, right? You need to tell them how you feel. You need to tell them what you actually want. And then what do? You get your first girlfriend, right? You communicate your interest. You tell her how much you want to progress the relationship, right? Oh, I want you to be my girlfriend. I actually see a future with you. And then as a result, all her attraction goes out the window. She starts to pull away. You're left confused, trying to understand, well, why have I just communicated what I want from this relationship? And then she's consequently pulling away. And this sneaks up on most guys because this isn't a process that happens straight away, right? This is over a couple of weeks, right? She starts to seem off. She starts to act a bit weird. The first thing that you need to understand and come to terms with is the fact that women are the ones who control the progression of the relationship. Women are the ones who control the pace of the relationship, how far it's going, right? How fast it's moving, right? Because the only way and the only time that women seek to progress the relationship is when hypergamy is satisfied. And they're sat there, they're looking at you and they think, this is the best man I can possibly get right now. Her main goal is she wants to make her hypergamous best option only exclusive to her. And this is a good thing. The second you get this sign, the second she seeks to progress the relationship, you have won. You have succeeded. Because what this is revealing is that she has high emotional investment towards you. She has bond towards you. You have created some sort of emotional connection to the point where she looks at you and she thinks, this is the man I want. This is the man I want to be with. And you have satisfied hypergamy. But what a lot of women will do, right? You're going to see this in your everyday life. Women will make passing comments and jokes about being exclusive and about you committing to her. You'll hear things like, oh, my friends asked me how my boyfriend was, and I told them that I don't have a boyfriend. She's going to make a joke, right? She's going to look at you a little bit crazy, right? She's going to make a joke. But I need you guys to understand that these indirect forms of communication are not her expressing her commitment towards you, are not her expressing progression of the relationship. Only, and I mean only, when she resorts to overt communication style, right, and she directly asks you, oh, well, what are we? Are you my boyfriend? Where is this relationship going? Right? Are you only exclusive to me? Are you seeing any other girls? That is the time when she is ready. That is the time when she truly thinks that you are her hypergamous best option and she is committing to you and progressing the relationship. That is the only time. All the passing comments, all the passing jokes mean nothing, right? This is just her on the build up to resorting to the overt communication style. And that is when she truly wants it to happen. And this is the thing, what most men do is they pick up on these little signals, right? These little signs, these little comments that she's making, right? Maybe you've been on FaceTime with a mum or FaceTime with a dad, right? She's talking to you, talking about you to a brother, right? And you start to think, oh, well, the logical thing to do is for me to ask her to be my girlfriend, right? The logical thing for me to do is for me to start to progress this relationship. Well, this is where most men go wrong. They think it's their job to progress the relationship. They think it's their job to start making moves into developing some sort of relationship. It is not your job, right? Because what men think, the logical thing they think in the head, is that if we've been together for a couple months now, together, right? We've been exclusive, we've been seeing each other. It now makes sense for us to be official, right? We've even met each other's friends. We've maybe met some family members, right? We've been spending a lot of time together, 2, 3 days a week. Why would we not be official? But what you can't see is that this is where you are going wrong. You are seeking the words. You want to be in that social scenario with your parents or your friends, or that social scenario where someone asks you, have you got a girlfriend? And you go, yeah, I do have a girlfriend. Right, you want the words that come with the progression, but it's not up to you. It's up to her to decide the pace of the relationship. It's up to her to decide when this moves forward. And if she gets a sniff, if she gets a sense that you are the one progressing the relationship, she can smell the weakness. Okay, she can smell the fact that you think that she's the best you're ever going to do. She can smell the fact that you want the commitment. And I know it sounds crazy, guys. I know it sounds crazy because when you've been with a girl for a while, right? Why would she not want you to seek commitment? But this is just the way that the female lens and the female world works inside of her brain. The second you ask for a bit more commitment, you start to progress the relationship, right? She gets the inkling in her mind, maybe this is not the best guy I can get with. Maybe I can do better because he's seeking commitment from me. It's not me seeking commitment from him. What I'm explaining to you guys is this is not a conscious thought in her mind, right? This is a subconscious thought in the back of her mind telling her that maybe she can do better. This is a subconscious thought that's starting to ask the questions, right? Is this the best man I can get? Because it seems like he's scared to lose me right now, right? He's trying to get commitment. He's trying to get progression in the relationship. Maybe he's scared to lose me. She thinks this in the back of her mind. Another reason why men will seek to progress the relationship, right, is to encourage her to be loyal. Encourage her to only have eyes for him. But guess what? You cannot dictate this feeling inside of her with words. You cannot dictate this feeling of her wanting to be loyal to you because you have the social norm of being in a relationship, right? It's not going to encourage loyalty like you think. She doesn't think in the traditional way anymore. It's up to her when she decides that hypergamy is satisfied, right? And she has genuine burning desire for you, right? I want you guys to understand you need to get out of this physical world, this logical world that you're living in, right? And get into the mind of a woman. Get into the mindset of how she thinks, right? How does she think? She wakes up and she acts based on how she feels, right? Every single day when her head lifts up from the pillow, she acts that day on how she feels. If she has genuine burning desire for you, she has love for you, she has connection with you, right? She has bond, right? This keyword bond. You have that bond. She's going to seek to progress the relationship. You could have been seeing this girl for 3 weeks and then she's going to try to progress the relationship. You could have been seeing this girl for 6 months and then she finally decides to progress the relationship. Right? What I need you guys to drill into your head is the man who never attempts to progress, the man who never speaks about being exclusive, speaks about getting commitment from her, he's the one who gets the commitment sooner. He's the one who has her approaching him, asking him to be exclusive because her mind starts to wander after a while, right? Why hasn't he asked me for commitment? Is he seeing other girls? Does he even like me like that? Do we even have that connection that I thought we did? All these things are going to go through her head when you simply do nothing. Well, this leads me to my grand point. Well, what should you do if you want to progress the relationship? What should you do if you want her commitment? What should you do if you finally want her to be your girlfriend? Right? You should do absolutely nothing. You don't need to do anything. Right? She will decide when she's ready for the relationship to progress and she will come to you to establish what's going on, right? Where is this relationship going? From that point, you need to sit down and you need to have a think and you need to establish, what do I want? And then you flow into that progression with ease. You flow into that progression like it's hardly happened. Let me give you an example. She comes to you and she says, oh, so we've been seeing each other for a while now. I just wanted to clarify that I'm only seeing you and I wondered whether you were doing the same, right? Are you only seeing me? In this case, if you want to be exclusively seeing her, right? If you want to see that progression, right? You're happy about this because you did just want to see her. All you simply do is you simply look at her and you go, yeah, I've been exclusively seeing you and I would like to continue to do so. And then you're going to see a smile on her face, right? She's super happy, right? You've flowed into it effortlessly. You need to say a lot less than you truly think, right? You don't need to put those flower petals on the bed saying, will you be my girlfriend? Right? You don't need to say, yeah, I think you should be my girl. I think we should be girlfriend and boyfriend, right? It needs to flow effortlessly. Yes, I'm going to be exclusive to you now because that's what I want. That's just what I truly want. You're being honest. You're being truthful. Just do what you want. Let me give you another example, right? Let's say she says, right, we've been seeing each other for a while now and my friends have come to me and they've been asking me, oh, is he your boyfriend? Right, and I don't really know what to tell them. You're going to hear this one, right? You've probably heard this before. Right, oh, what should I say to him? Right, this is her implying that she wants the title and the status symbol of being in a relationship. She wants to see that progression. And let me tell you something, if she starts a conversation like this, right, if she says something like this to you, you are doing something very right. She now wants that commitment. So again, if that's what you want, it's as simple as this. All you need to say to them is, yeah, tell your friends that you're my girlfriend, right? Tell them we're exclusive because you are. That's how simple it truly is. And that's how effortless it needs to be. No grand gestures, no stupid explanations, no telling feelings, right? This is all too much. This is all displaying too much interest. You want simple, effortless. If you like today's video, drop it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more.